What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We're finally doing it. We are hopping on the Poliwhirl train. For those of you that don't know, this is a team built by AndyLaVGC, incredible friend that we have worked with before, and it definitely blew up and took VGC by storm, finding its way on some incredibly big channels such as James Baek. So talking a little bit about the team, obviously the star of the show is going to be this Poliwhirl. And so some of you may be asking yourselves, hey, why use Poliwhirl when mainly Kingdra exists? And some, like me, would say Kingdra is functionally better. Well, first of all, Poliwhirl just looks better. It's dancing and having a great time, and for that we love it. And also just it has access to really good support, particularly with Hypnosis. So being able to go for Hypnosis and being so fast, outspeeding Regieleki, can put you just in an incredible position. You also have things like Encore to deal with certain Pokemon, particularly something like a Zacian going for a Protect. So that can be really huge. Icy Wind offers big speed control, and then finally Scald for some good damage, and also the chance to burn. Next up, we have everyone's favorite Fake Out Boy with Incineroar. We all know what it does. There's no reason to go too much into it. It does have safety goggles, so that's pretty cool, but other than that, nothing too exciting. Next up is Zacian, once again a Pokemon we all know and love. What it does, it hits very hard, it goes very fast, it has 3 attacks to make sure whatever comes in its way is just going to get knocked out. And so with that Poliwhirl support, just going to be an incredible spot. Next up, Amoonguss, once again another really straightforward Pokemon. It's got that redirection that we know and love, Pollen Puff to heal, and also Spores, because we're really just trying to put everything to sleep. Next up, Thundurus. So this is a Life Orb variant, and one of our main sort of damage dealers outside of our restricteds, right? Being able to go for those max airstreams, those big max lightnings, and also those big max darknesses to lower things special defense for Kyogre to come in and kind of cleanly sweep. And then finally we have Kyogre, the other restricted of the team. So Kyogre functions by enabling Poliwhirl by giving the rain for that Swift Swim, and also with the Choice Scarf is going to go really fast. Particularly if you Icy Wind with Poliwhirl, you are going to outspeed Regieleki, which lets you go for a Water Spout and cleanly KO common leads like Regieleki and Calyrex. So this is the team. We do have obviously the code on screen. We'll have the paste in the description. Definitely make sure to check out Andy's channel. Also make sure to subscribe to me. We are working our way towards 1 billion subscribers, and we really can't get there without you. And with that, let's just get rocking and rolling and move into the first game. All right, battle number 1, and it is Calyrex Ice with Solgaleo. A very interesting team. It is Calyrex Ice, Solgaleo, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, what's it called? Terrakion and Porygon 2. So I really like Poliwhirl Kyogre. I think that just puts on a ton of pressure. I think we want Zacian for sure. And the big question now is really what do we think is going to happen, right? There is on the one hand there is the chance that they go for the Trick Room route, in which case Amoonguss could be very helpful. Incineroar is also very good here. So just trying to figure out what I think is going to be best. Let's bring the Mushroom. I think the Mushroom offers a little bit more. Is it a mistake? Maybe. I do expect to see going for what's it called? A Bulldoze into a boosted Solgaleo. So that can actually be really huge. Also worth noting is though we can't lower Solgaleo speed, we can lower Terrakion speed. And if we can get Terrakion to underspeed Solgaleo, that means that we can hit it first and not let it get its weakness policy, which I think is really important because without a weakness policy, Solgaleo really isn't going to be that good. As we are going to see a Solgaleo in with a Terrakion lead here, as I expected. I do expect to see, like I said, just a Bulldoze into some kind of max move. And so what we could do, I think what we can do is just go for a Water Spout as well. And also, more importantly, right, Icy Wind, if we can get it, Icy Wind as well as a Water Spout might just straight up KO the Terrakion, which makes it so you don't even get your weakness policy. And if we can make it so Solgaleo doesn't get a weakness policy, like it's really not going to be doing that much damage. And I think that can really play a big deal. We might have to take we might have to take a Max Lightning, which I'm not too fond of because we don't have another Max option. And so making it so we have to Max Poliwhirl, like, isn't the ideal scenario. But hey, that is the case. More importantly, we are going to lower the speed on the Terrakion to make it so if you are Sash, you're going to not get it. And yeah, we are just going to get that clean knockout onto the Terrakion. We're going to say it was Sash. We are going to see the Max Lightning. It is going to come out. It is going to go into Kyogre. So we are going to live. So that's huge. We do now have access to a Dynamax, albeit not a super great one. But a Dynamax indeed. Also, sadly, they did get off a Max Lightning, which means we can't go for a Hypnosis. So a little bit of a tricky spot for sure. We do still have a Mungus in the back, right? Like that can be really big, having access to Pollen Puff. So we just need to get things into a spot where we can set up. As we are going to see the Calyrex come out. So Calyrex is scary. What do we want to do here? I'm going to go for a Scald onto the Calyrex. Unfortunately, I don't think... I don't think that we are going to be faster than this Solgaleo, given the fact that we did see... what's it called? We did see the fact that we're modest. So I think what we need to do is we kind of need to retreat, maybe get in a position where we can do a Mungus next to Kyogre under Trick Room and try and max that way, as we are going to get the Scald off, hoping for a burn onto this Calyrex, which could be huge, which we do get, which is awesome, right? Like that absolutely is going to shut things down. We are going to see the Steel Spike come out into Zacian, so I think that was a really good call by my opponent, recognizing that I'm probably going to switch out, and it does pay off hugely in their favor, as they do get just a ton of damage onto my onto my Zacian, this is fine with me though. This is your last turn of max. Your Calyrex is burned. I think at this point we can go very easily for a Scald onto the Solgaleo and then go for a Protect with Zacian, and we're setting up in a scenario where what can happen is we can basically, I'm hoping to sack Poliwhirl to get a free switch in into Amoonguss, with the idea that Amoonguss can heal up my Zacian and also make it so that way we can start putting on damage that way, right? Like we can go for a Behemoth Blade to get the knockout onto Calyrex. Solgaleo with its max gone really isn't going to be doing too much. Also, if we can get Kyogre out, right? Like Kyogre really can put us in a strong position, being able to get healed up by the Amoonguss. So some things are a little bit like in the ether. So we'll figure out what's going to happen. We are going to see the Glacial Lance. I expect it to do really not that much at all as a result of it being not very effective, us having the Eviolite and the Calyrex being burned. So we'll kind of see how things work out here. It is going to do, yeah, very, very great amount of damage. Quake going to come out here. This should be probably into the Zacian, right? As yeah, it is going to go into the Zacian. So this is definitely really, really a tricky spot to be in, right? We do kind of need burns on things, or we need to stall out this Trick Room really as much as we can, as we are just going to fire off a Scald, trying to just get a burn, which we do. So Poliwhirl getting two huge burns, right? We get a burn onto the Calyrex, and we get a burn onto the Solgaleo. The issue, though, is we have no damage right now. We're really just trying to finish off Dynamax. I'm fine to just keep firing off Scalds onto things and then switching out into Amoonguss. I think, yeah, we just need to get a scenario where we can stall out this Trick Room, and I think that this is really our best bet, right? We're going to have to switch in Amoonguss. We're going to have to protect. We're going to see the high horsepower come out, going probably into the Amoonguss, right? Yeah, Amoonguss taking pretty much nothing. As the Wild Charge finally coming out into the Poliwhirl, my opponent really recognizing the threat. We're going to see the Life Orb. Or no, that's recoil from Wild Charge. As the Scald, yeah, just going into the Calyrex. We're getting huge chip with this burn. I do expect to see probably a Glacial Lance come out this turn. So I'm fine just to keep Scalding. I have no reason to go for anything else, as well as go for a... actually, oh wait, I have a better idea. I'm going to switch into Zacian and... Oh, I did the thing where I forgot what Pokemon I was looking at, because I was like, I can switch in Zacian, and then I can just go for a Pollen Puff into it. But that's not what ended up happening, is it? Not at all. So we're going to have a Glacial Lance come out. I'm hoping we can, if we can survive this, which I don't think we can. Survey says we do survive it, so that's actually a big deal. The wild charge going to come out into the Poliwhirl, just trying to, you know, deal with our friend. So Poliwhirl is going to go down here, but more importantly, like, we're getting huge chip onto these Pokemon. We can bring out the Amoonguss and do what I wanted to do originally, which is heal up my Zacian, as we can finish off this Trick Room. And right, like, you really have no damage at all. And so that's going to be huge. So we can bring out Amoonguss. We can go for that self Pollen Puff into the Zacian, and Zacian can just go for damage onto one of these. I'm probably going to want to target the Calyrex just because it is a little bit scarier. So the Pollen Puff, we're going to go into Zacian. That should let us survive well enough to actually. I want to Sacred Sword the Soul. I want to Sacred Sword the Solgaleo. Solgaleo, I'm a little bit more concerned about, just due to the fact that, right, it has a better matchup into Kyogre. Right, we might need to max Kyogre, and outspeeding the Calyrex is going to be huge. So having that option, I think, is important. But being able to heal up, I feel confident that we can live a double up with going for the Pollen Puff, because there's no weakness policy triggered on Solgaleo, as we are going to see the Solgaleo withdraw. This could be this is going to be an Incineroar. So this is actually really huge for us, right? We did go for a Sacred Sword onto that slot. I don't think it was intentional what happened, but it really is going to work out here. So we are going to see the Pollen Puff just come out into the Zacian, as Zacian is going to get quite a bit of HP back, which should be more than enough to deal a big chunk into this Incineroar. And so that's going to be really huge here. Okay, so let's see how much we're going to take from this Glacial Lance. Yeah, so that's actually like a really, really close hit for me. Yeah, we're going to get really good damage onto that's so close. The question is, are you going to Trick Room, or are you going to... I'm going to say you're going to Trick Room. I'm going to go for a Pollen Puff, and I'm going to go for a Sacred Sword onto the Incineroar. I am going to say you're not going to Fake Out. If you do set up Trick Room, like, it's really bad. Like, if you just go for a Flare Blitz onto my Amoonguss, it's not actually the end of the world, though, because we can... Okay, yeah, I think no matter what, this is fine. Right, if you Glacial Lance and you KO, we can bring out Ogre. We're going to see the Fake Out come out. It's going to go into the Zacian, so that's fine. We just need to hope that you go for a Trick Room. As, yeah, it looks like you're going to go for the Trick Room, as we can fire a Pollen Puff off into this Calyrex. We're going to see a Weakness Policy trigger, so that's not good. But we do have confirmation that they went for the Trick Room, right? We do see that coming out. But at this point, like, this Calyrex is super, super low. The issue, though, is we have to go for okay, so we're going to Protect here. Just trying to stall out a turn of this Trick Room and make it so Calyrex will go down to a Pollen Puff, and also potentially scout their Trick Room, right? So that's definitely something we have to watch out for. Yeah, so we do have to play this a little bit awkwardly. We might have to sacrifice our Kyogre. It's not ideal, right? We're making it so... Okay, so what we can do is, yeah, we can go for the Protect here. Then we can switch out Amoonguss. I mean, we can switch out Zacian for Kyogre to set up the Rain, to say if they want to go for Protect and, like, try and do some shenanigans there, we can go that way. We're going to see the Calyrex... Oh, go for a Glacial. Interesting that the Incineroar went first, right? That's not something you see every day. But the burn, yeah, at this point is getting Calyrex super, super low. So I think what we can do is go for a Pollen Puff here, as well as swap out into Kyogre. Kyogre, obviously not in the best shape right now, but yeah, I'm hoping for a double target into the Amoonguss, which means that we can Pollen Puff and recover with our with the Amoonguss the subsequent turn, as we are going to see the Pollen Puff. I hope that this is enough for the knockout. Moment of Truth says it looks like, yes, we are going to be able to knock out this Calyrex, which is huge. We could see if... I'm hoping for a Flare Blitz into the Amoonguss slot and not the... okay, so it is going to go into the Kyogre. So a little bit unfortunate, right? Like we are going to lose our Kyogre, but at this point, right, we have a burn Solgaleo, and we have the ability, if I can ever select my Zacian, Controller Drift is the worst. Stop that. Nope, stop that. Yeah, so what we can do is we can start Pollen Puffing our Zacian and just start going for Sacred Swords onto this Incineroar, and then once the Incineroar is gone, right, we can do the same thing for Solgaleo. So I think even though that there is a Trick Room up, we're not in the worst position. I do just want to quickly see there are 2 turns of Trick Room left, so it's not actually a bad idea, I think, just to it's fine. I was gonna say we can go for a hit here as well as a Sacred Sword onto this Incineroar, just trying to heal up, and I think if we can get like close to full, we should be fine, as Zacian is going to just get a big chunk of HP back, right? We should be able to hopefully live the double up. As the Flare Blit's going to come out, it's going to do not that much, more than I would have liked because of the rain, even with the rain. And they get a burn in return, so everyone is just getting burned out here. We're going to see the Sunsteel Strike come out. This probably, I'm guessing, is going into Zacian. And so the big question now is, do we survive after the burn? Zacian, okay, so we are going to survive, so that's a big deal. And more importantly, right, we will be able to survive. Yeah, we survive the turn, so that means that we can go for a Self-Pollen Puff again, as well as go for a Sacred Sword onto the Zacian. We can also, if need be, I hope it doesn't come down to that, but there is a chance that we can max Amoonguss. So I'm going to go for the Self-Pollen Puff here, as well as a Sacred Sword onto the Solgaleo. Right, we should just be in a good position. We definitely can survive another turn. If for some reason Zacian does go down, we do have obviously the ability to max the Amoonguss. I think it would have been really funny. I kind of wish I had done it. We're going to see the Earthquake come out, so that makes my plans of maxing Amoonguss a little bit scarier. But yeah, I think that between the Sacred Sword, the burn, and another Sacred Sword, yeah, we're going to get the knockout with the burn. So Poliwhirl really set us up for success. Obviously, getting multiple burns was not expected, but it did really work out. So, yeah, huge to Poliwhirl being able to get that speed control. Obviously, it didn't really end up mattering because of the fact that we saw that the weakness policy was on Calyrex, not on Solgaleo. So, not really sure about the item, but I think it's still fine. And yeah, with that, let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Zacian Calyrex. It is Indeedee, Zacian, Incineroar, Regieleki, Calyrex, and Landorus. So Poliwhirl Kyogre is really what this team wants to do, right? Especially if we can see a Regieleki Kyogre. I mean, Calyrex being able to drop that speed and get off a really big Water Spout and pick up the double KO. I think Zacian is really good here, and then probably the Incineroar in the back. I think it just offers a lot. I think that this should be pretty straightforward. We do have to adapt a little bit if they choose to bring Incineroar, but are you really going to bring an Incineroar versus a Kyogre? Sounds like a little bit of a gamble. It obviously does have the chance to pay off, but it really will depend on what my opponent does. So we'll see. Yeah, kind of see how things kind of play out. I do feel comfortable though of being able to probably expect a Regieleki with a Calyrex, especially if you don't know what Poliwhirl can do. So that can be really big for us, as we are going to see Zacian and Indeedee. So Zacian and Indeedee is fine as well, right? We do have the ability just to do the same thing of going for an Icy Wind as well as a Water Spout, just trying to get a little bit of chip on, and also saying if your Indeedee wants to go for Follow Me, it's not going to matter. So things will come down to, though, how much investment does the Zacian have? But we still have Pokemon in the back, so I think we're fine there. It just gets a little bit tricky because we might once again have to play with no max. So I am fine to go for an Icy Wind here, as well as just click Water Spout. I don't really see how my opponent has anything super good into this. But yeah, Poliwhirl, there it is, just dancing, having the time of its life. It really put in work that last game, and you know, it's gonna do great here as well, right? Being able to deal with the Zacian. Obviously, it doesn't really matter, right? We're Scarf, so we're gonna outspeed, but that little bit of chip can make a huge difference, as we are gonna see the Follow Me. So Follow Me is totally fine. we are just going to be able to fire off an Icy Wind. So this is also not revealing that we're Scarf, which is kind of a big deal, as we should... I don't think we're going to get the knockout. I would actually be really surprised. But we should get really good damage onto both, as... yeah, that is a thick Zacian for sure, as the Behemoth Blade is going to come out. So because it's Behemoth Blade, I'm almost fine. Yeah, I mean, we're at half, and given how low they are, I'm fine just going for another Icy Wind as well as going for a Water Spout, right? Like, in my mind, it doesn't matter. We have gotten them low enough that we should pick up the knockout. So that's going to put us in a really good position. We probably will have to max Ogre as a result of this. We're going to see the Protect come out from Zacian, which I think is fine with me, right? We're just trying to get some big damage on, and if we pick up the knockout versus the Indeedee, that's also really good. We can also switch out into Incineroar, right? We do have the Incineroar in the back, being able to fire off what's it called, an Intimidate onto the Zacian, deal better with this Calyrex, as we expect it to probably carry a Sash. And so yeah, we get the hit off, and also now we can go for a Scald, which is really great, right? We can just Scald into Calyrex. I need to check the speed stat. I actually don't know if we outspeed Calyrex with the Scarf, or if we need to switch out, as we are going to see. Yeah, it is going to be Regieleki. So nope, stop that. Stop that. Come on. Check summary. This controller drift is awful right now. Oh, no, come on. 142. So we don't actually outspeed, what's it called? The Calyrex without the Icy Wind drop, but I'm still fine to go for an Icy Wind, as well as a Water Spout. More importantly is we are going to make it so Regieleki can get hit by a Behemoth Blade. So that's going to be really big for us, as, yeah, we do just get a little bit of chip onto the Zacian. We should be able to take it out from this point. I do expect, probably, given the fact that my opponent isn't maxing, we should see an Electro Web, which would be unfortunate, as it doesn't actually end up mattering, as we will just pick up a knockout onto this Regieleki with no issue. So, you know, that also is pretty great. And now it is going to be this single Calyrex, which we can get the speed drop on, and we have Zacian in the back, able to pick up a clear knockout. So barring a Scarf Calyrex, I think we do have this one in the bag, especially as we are going to have a very nice single target Water Spout. So an Icy Wind here, as well as a Water Spout. So this is really the power of Scarf Ogre with speed control, right? Like, my opponent was just in a position where they couldn't do anything. And I think also the fact that they went for the Behemoth Blade, probably expecting a max Ogre, really didn't do them any favors either. But yeah, overall, I think just some incredible gameplay with Poliwhirl. We do have time for one more, so let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is Eternatus Groudon. Eternatus Groudon with a Venusaur, a Grimmsnarl, an Incineroar, and Bronzong. So this is interesting. I like Thundurus. Incin, probably both restricteds in the back. That's what I'm thinking. Poliwhirl, I don't think it's its time, unfortunately. I think it just is a little bit of an awkward... it's just a little bit of an awkward setup for it. I mean, in theory, I could lead it, but it's just like, I want to lead something with it, and then I have to make the switch because of the Groudon. So I think, as much as I would love to bring Poliwhirl, I don't think it's its place this time around, especially given the fact that we do have to worry about things like mainly that Venusaur, right? I don't know what that Venusaur wants to do. So we do have to go for things like a Fake Out into it to just try and stop some shenanigans. So as much as I love Poliwhirl, I don't think that this is the best game for it. So we are going to see, Venusaur as well as the Incineroar. So that is really good to see, right? We get to immediately see that the Intimidate go off. We also see that their Incineroar is faster than ours. So definitely a little bit unfortunate there. I do want to go for Protect, though, just trying to avoid a potential Sleep Powder, and I think it's fine to... Okay, so I'm going to go for a Protect on Thunderous. Come on. Stop that. Come on. Come on. There it is. I'm going to go for Protect on Thunderous and go for a Flare Blitz onto this Venusaur. I expect to switch in from Incin into Groudon. And then switch... Yeah, I expect Incin to Groudon and then a Sleep Powder into the Thunderous. I think that really is sort of my opponent's best option. And so by doing it this way, we can lower the Venusaur's HP enough where if they want to go for... what's it called? If they want to go for... Yeah, we are going to see the swap. So if they're going to go for Sleep Powder, they're low enough where Cobra Berry will finish them off. So we are going to see Eternatus come out. So not what I was expecting at all. Eternatus is scary. We are going to see the Venusaur Max. So that's also really scary. Because I think a Dynamax Cannon might just be able to get the one-shot. So we might have to sacrifice Thunderous in order to get in a better position. This is really awkward. We're going to see Thunderous go for a Protect. Yeah, I don't know if we can survive a Dynamax Cannon, especially because we are going to be we have a Life Orb. That's the words that I'm trying to say. I want to switch out, if I can, into Zacian and go for a Parting Shot. If I can hit the button. Come on. Parting Shot onto the Eternatus. Just thinking that if we can get the pivot, I think that should put us in a really strong position overall, right? Like we can set up and hopefully like eat the if we can eat the Dynamax Cannon, that's really great. Also get their Eternatus to -1, which should be really huge. And just try and stall out as much of their max as they can. We should probably see a Quake into the Incineroar. I'm hoping it doesn't do too much damage. I think the Max Guard was a smart play, as we are going to see, yeah, the Dynamax Cannon come out into the Zacian. The Vine Lash going to come out probably into the Zacian as well. That did way more than I would have liked. So that is unfortunate. We are going to get the Parting Shot off. I think what we want to do is we want to bring out Kyogre. We want to bring out Kyogre so we can go for a Water Spout. I'm going to bring out Kyogre here, right? So I think that this is good for me because I expect Eternatus to probably have something like a like Flamethrower, as well as it could have Meteor Beam. So nothing really that wants to do damage into Zacian right now. We do have to take the Vine Lash chip, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I think the bigger objective is going to be, let's get rid of, I think we want to get rid of their Eternatus more than anything. I'm fine to go for a Water Spout. This is tricky, right? You could switch it into Groudon really easily, which would be unfortunate. But I think if you don't expect the Scarf on Kyogre, right, you could just try to go for damage that way, saying, hey, I'm going to live the Behemoth Blade. So this could put us in a really advantageous position. Also, if you switch into Groudon, right, like Groudon's not going to want to take a Water Spout plus a Behemoth Blade. So that's also like something we have working in our favor. We could have targeted down the Venusaur. I don't think that's necessary, but yeah, we are in an awkward position where you could just very well switch out, but that's fine. We are going to see, yeah, we are going to see the Eternatus switch out. This is going to be into Groudon. I think that was pretty expected. So we're probably going to lose our Kyogre, which is my fault more than anything. I will take responsibility for that. We're going to see the Flare. So that's really unfortunate. Definitely not what I wanted at all. So that's sad. The Water Spout going to come out here doing a decent chunk into Groudon as well as into Venusaur. We are going to take a little bit more recoil damage. I think I have to bring out Thunderous here. I think I have to bring out Thunderous. I have to switch out Incin, go for a Protect. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out into Incin, protect my Thunderous, and then make it so I can try and set up, because I do need to get an Airstream boost. If I want any chance of winning this game, I have to switch out now into my Incineroar, just trying to get the Intimidate off. The Flare was actually very obvious, so that was definitely not a good turn on my part. We should have actually just Hailstormed into the Venusaur and gone for a Protect. That way we could have negated any potential weather switch-in. They also could have just Vine Lashed into Kyogre. So I think no matter what, the turn was a little bit awkward. We do, though, want to try and get in our Incineroar to go for a Fake Out onto the Venusaur and then Airstream against it. So that should... the main objective is we need to be faster than Eternatus. And I think if we're faster than Eternatus, we're in really good shape. So we just need to get there, essentially. Precipice Blades is an interesting choice. I don't know if my opponent will go for it, but they might. So we'll see about that. We should see a Sleep Powder come out from the Venusaur. We are going to see, yep, the Sleep Powder going to come out here. Stone Edge. Oh, that's really terrifying. So Thundurus going to take a little bit of damage. I think, though, I have to risk the Stone Edge. I think that there's really no other option. I'm gonna Airstream the Venusaur as well as go for a Fake Out onto it. I think what honestly might end up happening is I might have to protect turn 2 to go for a Flare Blitz, right? I just need to get in a position where if it's Groudon, I can win, right? I have access to the Scarf. We did lose our Zacian, which obviously is never fun, but I think this is my best bet. Also, if we get to +1, we can Flare Blitz the Venusaur, protect, and then Parting Shot against the Groudon. So that definitely can be something good for us and set the weather, right? Because if we can get some knockouts, we can guarantee that Incineroar has to come in. We are going to see the Groudon switch out, so that's fine with me, right? You're going to bring out Eternatus, so that's one thing I don't have to worry about now, as we can go for a potential Protect into a Flare Blitz into the Venusaur the subsequent turn, just trying to get rid of it that way. Yes, it means that the Eternatus is sticking around, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's also not, I think, the end of the world, because, yeah, I can't really, I could also just, no, I need the Parting Shot. We're going to get the Fake Out onto the Venusaur. So the question now is, if you don't have, what's it called? Okay, so there's no Cova Berry. So we should get this knockout, which, yeah, we're Life Orb. That's really great for us, because I think that puts us just in a really strong position, right? We can go for a Parting Shot, which we know we're faster, as well as an Airstream onto this Eternatus to try and make it so we don't take nearly as much damage. We could see the Groudon come out, which is a little bit scary, but we can pivot into Kyogre. So that can really help us out, right? Like you should be bringing out Groudon here. I want to the Dynamax. This is like, talk about rock in a hard place. We're gonna see the Groudon come out. I think what we can do is, I think what I have to do is I actually have to Max Guard and go for a Parting Shot. I want to Parting Shot the Eternatus so I can switch back in the subsequent turn and have an Intimidate on the Groudon, as well as have a Parting Shot on the Eternatus. As we could see, okay, so they make the very correct read, for lack of better words, of firing the Dynamax Cannon onto the Incineroar. The Incineroar is going to go down here, so that's totally fine with me. The crit is completely unnecessary, but we can bring out Kyogre and say, hey, whatever. Okay, so it is Life Orb, so that's really good to see. Stone Edge going to come out here, and this should be the last turn of... oh, there's no more Vine Lash Chip, so that's really huge too. We can bring out Kyogre, so Kyogre is, what, 17, so 18, 36. So we're just below the range at which Water Spout is more powerful than Origin Pulse, but I'm fine to still click this, as well as go for a Water Spout. If you switch out you have to switch out Groudon into Incineroar. So we could see a Protect come out from Eternatus. We do have Lash Out, so that's also like an option. But if you switch, okay, so let's think about this, right? Like you should switch out Groudon into Incineroar. We get the knockout, which should give us actually the knockout onto Eternatus. It probably is going to Protect. We're going to see the Groudon switch out. We should see the Eternatus go for a Protect, which is never ideal, but I think it's still fine, as this means that you will not be able to, I'm making up words. Ignore me. We should see the protect. Yep, we're going to see the protect here. We're going to bring out Groudon. And we can just go for I think a fly onto Eternatus should be more than enough, hopefully. That's going to do really not that much damage. The Water Spout should pick up the knockout here. We do have the attack boost, which is huge. So a lot of sort of questions of how damage is going to work. We will fire off the Water Spout. This easily is going to pick up this Incineroar. And so now the question really comes down to what am I more afraid of? Is it going to be this Groudon with Stone Edge, or is it going to be this Eternatus? And so I think what we want to do is we want to actually try and double up into the Eternatus and hope that Lash Out is enough for the KO, right? We are going to see the Groudon come out here, so this is a little bit tricky. Yeah, I think we want to target down the Eternatus just because of the fact that, like, what's it called? Water Spout still technically is super effective into Groudon, so 75. We can go for that, as well as just go for a Water Spout. Like I said, I do expect it to do a pretty big chunk. We are at +1 with Thunderous, so that also is definitely something that works in our favor, right? I'm willing to say, hey, I'm going to take that chance with Groudon, which I think is a fine statement to make, right? Yeah, we are, I think, totally fine just to try and go for damage this way. Yeah, I want to say Lash Out plus a Water Spout should be enough. We'll find out as Lash Out. We need to see how much this does. It's going to do, please be enough for the knockout. We're not going to get the knockout on. We're definitely not getting the knockout. As yeah, Water Spout going to come out here, doing a really good chunk into the Groudon, but definitely not enough. We should see probably a Dynamax Cannon onto the Thunderous, as well as probably a Precipice Blades come out. I can't see Thunderous living this at all. Into the Kyogre. So that's really interesting, right? You're putting yourself in a very interesting spot where you have to hit a Stone Edge, which isn't the end of the world. I wish that had KO'd. Stone Edge going to come out and it's going to connect, so Thunderous is going to go down. So unfortunately, we aren't able to do 3 wins in a row, but we definitely still put in some work with Poliwhirl. So huge shout out to Andy for the team. Make sure to check it out for sure. Make sure to subscribe to him. He's almost at, I think, 500 subscribers, and it'd be really great if we can get him there. We will be playing some more team videos with this team. Also, make sure to subscribe to me, right? We're working our way towards 1 billion, and we really can't get there without you. And yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.